Hey Ospreys, it's Noah from Spinnaker Radio. Today I'm talking to Rican Havoc. You want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, I'm Rican Havoc. My real name's Andy. I'm an artist, originally from Jacksonville. I'm now in Tallahassee. I go to school out here. And yeah.
Sweet, it's nice to meet you. You want to describe your sound real quick so everyone can get a feel for that?
Yeah. I'm mostly like a rapper. That's sort of like where my roots are, I'd say. Very much like rooted in like old school hip hop and things like that. Very lyrically focused. I think recently I'm sort of like going away from that a little bit, trying to focus a little more on like melodic things, and a more like soulful oriented sound.
Awesome. So who would you say like are your like artistic influences then? If you have the old school hip hop, is that like Tribe Called Quest kind of stuff? And what when you move towards the melodic sound, what artistic influences change you to be towards that sound?
Um, so like I listen to honestly, I mostly listen to like R&B, like old school R&B or just like neo soul. That's what I listen to most of the time. That's when I feel like music brings me the most at peace. So like Lauryn Hill, Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass, Raphael Sadiq, like things like that, you know. In terms of like rap, I listen to like a lot of like Freddie Gibbs and things like that. I definitely was like when I first really got into like rap, I listened to a lot of Tupac, and then I got into Tribe and things like that. Um, but yeah, just I mostly listen to like just people singing, so I think it's just like a natural extension, you know.
So you talked about like peace. Would you say like one of the goals of your music is to like bring peace? Is that something you try is that like a specific goal or is that just how something you ended up on?
Um, that would be like that's not necessarily something I think I go out of my way to strive for. But I think for me personally, I appreciate music in like mostly a medicinal sense. Like it's like something where it's like if I'm really like down and out or anything like that, like I have some songs I can listen to or an album I can listen to that really brings me back. I think for me personally, though, I think my main thing is like relatability and just saying things that people listen to and they feel like, okay, like I've been there or, just things like that so they can feel some sort of comfort in that.
Yeah, awesome. So how would you say you arrived at that sound? I know you talked about your influences, but personally, how did you get to that sound you're at before, and then how did you get to the sound you're at now?
Um, I don't know. I've always been a writer. You know what I'm saying? Just ever since I was little. Like I honestly I wrote like my first rap when I was like 9 or something like in class, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
just I've always been a writer, so that's always just been something I've done. I just think initially I think, starting up just I was like 15 or so, I was very much just like super lyric oriented. I was just like I gotta bring all the bars, da, 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 nothing else matters. Like it's just just bars. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that was my whole thing.
Yeah.
Uh, but then over time, I think I realized, oh man, like it has to sound good too. So that's when I started like making beats on my own and just learning how to mix and master and things like that. And yeah, it's been a very long process, but it's all about like finding balance.
Yeah. So you said you grew up in the Jack scene. How would you like describe the local Jack scene? What's been your experience in it?
Um, it's a lot of very like talented people in the scene. Extremely talented. I've had good interactions with, you know, damn near everybody. Um, Performed a few concerts out here. They've gone well, opened for Xavier Wolf and Wi-Fi, and it's all been cool. Like it's honestly like that's what kind of sucks about Corona. Like I think my friend we were planning a show like in the middle of April. So this is like it was supposed to be like a month after Corona shut everything down, and we were really planning it. And we were gonna like fly some of our internet music friends in and everything, and then it just kind of like all shut down. So I miss that a lot because it's like a very even though it's a lot of people there, it feels like a very like warm environment, and I think that's I don't know if other scenes can say the same thing.
Yeah, I think Jack scene has a special very it feels like home almost a lot at like local shows, house shows, small shows. It feels very like it's like very like warm, inviting. Like everyone's so chill and nice at local shows in
Yeah.
Jax. So I definitely agree with that. So it's also Hispanic Heritage Month, starting today when we're recording this actually on September 15th. Do you want to talk a bit, just a little bit about your Hispanic heritage?
Yeah. So both my parents are Puerto Rican. So very much raised around that. Spanish music whenever we're cleaning, whenever cooking, all that stuff. Um, you know, my mom's parents were in Jax. Like they saw me grow up, so definitely I heard a lot of things about the island that way. Um, we'd have like big New Year's parties, just doing the most. Parandas, I don't know if you know what a paranda is, but that's like around Christmas time. That's essentially like you get like a caravan of Puerto Ricans and you just go to random houses and then you just sing. It's like Christmas caroling, but you just like randomly do it. So we do that. Um, and yeah, no, it's very, it's very rewarding. Um, Rewarding is a weird way to put it. I guess it's like it's very it's comforting just to see. I don't know. It's weird. I'm trying to put like a good word for it,
No,
but
it's all good. So I mean, your stage name too is Rican Havoc.
yeah.
Would you, how would you say like your heritage influenced your music, if it has?
Um, I think it's more of like a subliminal thing. It's nothing like very overt. Um, I think when I'm making beats and stuff, I think some of like the rhythmic patterns I use are definitely influenced by that. Like using a lot more like just things that like when we would have caroling at my house or something like, and I was playing an instrument, like trying to incorporate things like that into a beat or things that I would see into a beat. It's very like it's not something that I like very consciously do, but it's something I definitely try to incorporate. I guess maybe as like some sort of like homage or something like that. But I sometimes I try to like sample salsa and stuff too, like just for the fun of it. Like
Yeah.
so
Sweet. So it's not something that you like consciously do. It's just part of you. It's like it's just you've grown up with it, so it's kind of subliminally, like you said, part of your music, and it finds its way in there somehow.
yeah, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Sweet. So we talked about the Jax scene a bit too. Do you have a favorite show you've played in Jax, or any kind of favorite performance?
Yeah. Man, that's tough. So me and my friends Coffin, so that's like my group. We don't really like make as much music together anymore, but those are still just like my best friends. So we've opened for Xavier Wolf twice, and we opened for Wi-Fi's funeral one time. And like, it's hard to Wi-Fi. It was really really cool. Just like packed venue. We were at 1904, and then we sold like the most tickets before, so we were like right before Wi-Fi. So we were able to get like the whole crowd was able to see us, and that was like it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. I think we did a good job, and then it was just crazy because like Wi-Fi gave the crowd water bottles to throw on stage, not like the other way around. So
Hmm.
the water got like the laptop and it broke their laptop. So they had to go a cappella for like 20, 30 minutes. And then half the crowd left. So to a certain extent, you could say like our crowd was like sort of bigger than Wi-Fi's, which is great. So I guess that would be the one. I guess that would be the one.
That's a good story to tell too. They broke their laptop with the water.
Yeah,
That's an interesting decision, give them water to throw on stage.
it
But it,
makes no sense.
it sounds fun though. I love that venue too. Um,
Yeah.
Sweet. So, do you have any upcoming music you're working on anything right now? Anything you can tell us about?
Yeah. I mean, over the summer. Oh,
Your video died
hold up.
real quick.
Am I good?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. Yeah. Over the summer, I recorded like 12 songs or so. I don't really know how many of them are gonna see the light of day. I might just like drop them pretty passively, just like through a producer or something.
Hmm.
Uh, but right now, I'm just planning on a single. Like I have, like last week, I talked to the video guy for it. We got a concept together, and it's definitely more of like a melodically driven song. Like I don't really like outright rap on it,
Hmm.
um, which is like sort of intimidating. But everybody I've sent it to for so far is like giving me pretty good feedback, and say it's something I should explore more. So that brings me a lot of comfort. But there's always gonna be nerves just with like planning a rollout and just like what you invest in the video and then promotion afterwards, trying to get on Spotify playlists, all that jazz. It's a whole thing. But you just take your time with it and just still have fun with it. That's what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
So how does that feel, like the night before you drop something, or like right before you? Is it like a lot of nerves and anxiety? Is it like relief that it's finally coming out, or?
it's like it's like both. I think recently, and this isn't really like a good thing. I think recently it's been more anxious. I think just me personally, I think as I become just more like I guess critical of my music and just trying to like push myself just to like be better and things like that. I think that's probably where it comes from. Um but there's still like when I dropped my album in March, there's definitely relief there because that was like months in the making. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, regardless of what happened, if two people listened to it, I was going to be content with it just because that's something that I put a lot of work into and I was very proud of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, so as long as you go into it with that and it's something that you're proud of, I think the anxiety gets mitigated.
Yeah, and you
So
you think some of that anxiety could be just because you're changing your sound a bit too, and that kind of I can see how that could be a little scary, but
yeah, yeah, no, that's definitely a part of it. And I think just in general, I guess this is probably like an irrational like fear, but I just like I mean I'm only 20 years old, but I guess it's just sort of like it's just this might be like a social media thing too, but just like seeing folks around you and you're like, damn, they're younger than me and they're like really doing good and all these things, and it's really like tempting to like succumb to that, and like that happens to me all the time, but it's also like that just like takes the fun out of the music, so it's like it's something I gotta like stray away from and hopefully just like just be the best I can be, and that's
yeah.
where just the fun comes from.
Sweet. You got any shout outs at the end of this?
Any shout outs? Shout out, I'm about to shout out all of Go Harder. Go Harder is like my internet collective,
Okay.
not my, but just like a group of friends. We got Hammer, that's the homie, Et, or should I say their ats, or is it
You can
like
do whatever you want. This is your
all
stage right
right,
now.
all
Shout
right,
out them out as much as you want.
all right, we got at HVMMER, at ET is the future, at Viral Beats with three eyes, at GOS. He's from Canada, but he's one of my favorite producers. Um, at just Buju, Miego, damn, Dim Boy.
Oh, they're gonna come for you. The people that you left out, they're coming for you after this.
I'm not gonna. Kiga, who else? Who else? Ronan, everybody. If I didn't say your name, I'm sorry. I love you. But
Sweet. Awesome. Well, it was really nice interviewing you. You've been great. I hope you have all the success with your upcoming single you said coming out. I'm excited to hear the new sound. Uh,
all right, thank
yeah, it was nice talking to you.
yeah, thank you for having me.